Shortly after midnight on the 6th of June 1944, the Allied invasion of Europe began over the skies of Normandy. On this trip I visited some of the main battle sites and memorials of what would become known as the longest day. My cousin Graham and I set out from Cork on the Brittany ferry, the Pont of An, for a 14-hour crossing from Ireland to France.
So here we are, getting on board the ship. Head to Roscoff in France. This is the Pont of An, which is a Brittany ferry which travels from Cork to Roscoff at the weekends. Next stop, France.
We arrived early Sunday morning and have a 230-mile journey to St Mere Eglise, where we will spend our first night.
Arriving in Roscoff, bienvenue à Roscoff.
Along the way we visit Mont St Michel. The last time I was here you could ride right up to it, but now they've installed a park and ride system.
So we're here at Mont St Michel, our first stop today. You used to be able to ride straight up to it, but it looks like now you have to park away back here.
Mont St Michel is a World Heritage Site and has been a monastic site since the 8th century. It was located half a mile off the coast until recent years when they built a causeway out to it. Up to then you had to wait for the tide to go out to visit, and if you were not off before it came in, you had to wait. Today it is one of France's major tourist attractions, unique for its narrow streets with shops and restaurants and quirky hotels, with over 3 million visitors a year.
Just coming into the town of Sainte Mère-Église, which was one of the major battles of the D-Day landings, made more famous by the film The Longest Day, where depicted the parachutist getting caught on the church, on the roof of the church, and he remained there for hours. I can't think of his name just now, but I'll put it in here. And this is the church down here, and I believe they still have a mannequin on a parachute, indeed they do, up the top there to depict it. So you can see him up there and that. Also here is the 101st Airborne Museum. Hopefully the GoPro will pick it up there now. There is the parachutist still stuck on the roof of the church. St Mere-Église.
This is the main square in St Mere-Église. St Mere-Église was the first town to be liberated on D-Day. The attacks began shortly after midnight with an aerial bombardment and over 24,000 paratroopers landing along the Normandy coast. Here in St Mere-Église, two C-47 airplanes approached from the west over there, and the troops piled out. The German garrison here were out supervising French citizens putting out a fire where the Airborne Museum is, and saw what was happening and began to open fire. Many paratroopers didn't stand a chance, being killed as they landed. John Steele was stuck on the church, and two others actually landed in the fire. Due to wind conditions, some were pushed further south and survived to fight another day. This is the Airborne Museum off the main square and the location of the fire on the night the paratroopers landed. The main exhibit hall is in the shape of a parachute canopy and houses a C-47 airplane. Well worth a visit. Along this main street up to the square in Sainte Mère-Église, many of the buildings still have bullet marks on their outer walls from the battle. Makes you wonder how many lives were lost on this street alone as the first liberated town of the D-Day landings.